What's going on, family? What's going on, YouTube? So, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and pretty much break down my watch list that's coming up for this week. Um, and pretty much I want you guys to understand where my mind is at, right? I want you to understand where my mind is at. So first, we're looking at the DXY, and precisely on the DXY, for people that do not know, the DXY is the US dollar currency index. That means that you should look at this pair before you look at any other pair, because everything is based off this pair, right? And its inverse is Euro USD, right? And it's similar trade or similar pair is USD Swiss franc, right? So if we go down, if we see this is a channel. So overall, I see the DXY possibly giving us another touch up here, then maybe coming down, and then we'll have a big move up, or we'll have a complete push up, push back down, and then a move up, right? No matter what, I see this channel, this descending channel, meaning that eventually we're going to have a big up move on the DXY long term. This might not happen till like 20, 30, 40, or 50 in the year. So don't expect this to happen anytime soon, because I don't see that happening at any point in time. Right now, if we go down to the 4 hour, we are seeing that prices consolidating in this zone, right? So we see prices consolidating, but what we see right now is price giving us a descending wedge to the downside. So I'm looking for a big move up from that specific pattern, right? Price doesn't have to push all the way up here, right? Price can just come to this level here, give us some form of channel, some form of consolidation, and then we could get a retest and then a move down, right? Which is pretty much a impulse correction continuation type of deal, right? That's what can happen on the DXY, right? So what else is on my watch list? So definitely watch out for the DXY. What else is on my watch list is GBP USD. If we go on the daily time frame, GBP USD is definitely one of my favorite pairs. We had price come to this level, come down, fake us out, head all the way to this high, came back down. Mind you, when price came to this high, right, we had another high here, right? We had another high right here that price did not touch. So what I think is going to happen is when price, this is a psychological thing. When price doesn't hit a high and immediately drops before the high, it usually will come back up to retest that high before actually dropping, right? And that's usually what's happening. So this could, if this doesn't break this high, could be another push down and then back up to touch this high, right? And then we'll most likely have that huge move to the downside, maybe triple topping or double topping up there. But if we go down to the lower time frames, to the 4 hour, right now we see price giving us a ascending channel, right, or ascending wedge in this case. So price right now has started to drop and break this trend line. If it continues to fall, family, I'm going to expect price. I want a retest before actually selling the market, right? So for me, when I get that retest, these are my specific levels. This is the end of the channel. So I'm expecting price to at least come down to this channel, then come down to this low, and then to this low, right? And from those, and if we take that setup, right, just from whatever that is, that's a potential 500, possibly 600 pip setup that we can capitalize off of. Not only that, I'm seeing a huge wave coming off of this setup. Like if we look at what happened before, you had a huge wave down. I'm expecting another huge wave down, right? So at least to this low, right? At least to this low. So I'm looking to see what price is going to be giving us so we can be more profitable and, it makes it money. You see what I'm saying? So GJ, very very similar to GU, of course, but the situation with GJ is a little bit different, right? I see a perfect impulse correction, and I'm expecting this continuation to push down, but the situation is a little bit different, right? We don't have a channel in here. Right now this is dropping and it didn't touch this high. So remember, this is a psychological thing. If price comes up and doesn't touch this support and resistance level and just completely takes off, this can be more of a bullish flag or middle section to come to this high. right? Price could just be forming a bullish flag like impulse, correction, continuation, right? A bullish flag to head back up to this high. And then we'll see what happens when price touches this high, right? Because what could happen is you could either have price come to this high and we could drop, or we can have price consolidate to this high, giving us this multi touch right here for this move down, right? So this is what I'm expecting off of GJ. Very nice setup. This could, if it doesn't give us that bullish flag, this could, give us some form of correction to this high, right? It could give us a correction to this high, and we could sell at this area, right? Or, there's you always want to be prepared for whatever happens. This could just squeeze into this zone, right? And then we could sell from there. Now, like I said, price can come up here as well, so I'm not ignoring this level. I'm just looking at what price is going to be giving me. If it comes up here and squeezes to this level, I'm going to be looking for a breakdown and a retest to sell it, right? If we do come up here structurally, right, with a little bit more movement, right, giving us some form of price action, then I'm going to be looking to take more of an aggressive approach, right? And then we can sell it from there, right? If price gives us something more of a bullish flag that I was explaining before, right, and comes to this high, if price impulsively comes to this high, I'm going to be looking for that push down and that retest until so we can get that drop, right? And then it just all depends on how price actually comes to this high. This one has a little bit more time. This one has a little bit more time to develop. Excuse me. But I do like how this is forming. Next pair is Ncd Cad. Right. So if we go on the daily, I like how price, just like with GJ and GU, gave us a fake out here, right? Fake people were selling this and then it completely pushed up. That's excellent. Then what happened as it was happening is it was forming a nice ascending channel here. So you could say this is an impulse and this is a correction for a push down, right? So if we go to the 4 hour, price is right now at this level, at this major resistance. Remember, trend lines can play as resistance levels as well. We're at this major resistance level, right? But we also have to consider that we do have this high to pay attention to, right? We do have this high that we need to pay attention to. Now, mind you, everybody's looking at this pair. It's a very, very solid pair. Everybody's looking at this pair. So what I'm looking for confirmation is a push down and a flag, right? Before we actually sell off, right? A push down and a flag before we sell off. That's what I'm looking for off this pair. I don't want to call this top right here because we still have space up here that it can just trickle all the way up here, right? And then sell, right? And then that'll mess people's psychology up, right? So if we take this sell, let's say we call it this top, and then price trickled up, then we have FOMO because now we're like, dang, it's at this level, but shit, I take it, and you don't take it, and then it goes your direction, then you mess up. Then there's a domino effect because you're feeling some type of way because you lost a trade and you missed a trade. So no, let's take our time and not have to deal with all that drama and just wait for price to give us that retest, right? That break and retest before actually selling off, right? So Ncd USD is the same thing. It's the exact same thing. I'm looking for the exact same thing, waiting for that break and retest before we actually sell to the downside. And my TPs are here, here, here. Oh, and we can't miss that level, right? So these are my TPs, right? So I'm having 4 TPs here that I'm paying attention to. All right, so Euro NZD. I love Euro NZD because it's definitely this could be a fake out, right? Because people will look at this as a breakout, right? And then take the trade, maybe take a loss, or they're holding the trade long term, comes back down, they're in profit, but they don't know if off of price action, off of the pattern, this is a descending wedge, right? So this is, you see divergence here, you have a descending wedge. This can completely push up, right? This can completely push up. I'm waiting for this flag, and then this could go to the upside. And then the people who are selling this, right, are definitely hurt because they didn't see this happening. And I was a breakout trader, so I completely understand people who don't see this. I used to look at, when I was a breakout trader, I used to look at this and wonder, why did I lose this trade? It broke out. Why did I lose a trade and I followed my rules and it broke out, right? Especially on a daily time frame, you would expect because it's a daily close or a 4 hour close that it would go crazy and keep going in that direction. But the reason why I lost that trade is because I wasn't paying attention to price action. I wasn't paying attention that this was consolidating and forming a descending wedge to push up. Right. So Euro NZD, that's what I'm expecting. And I can see Euro NZD coming up all the way to this high, right? But we have TPs before we get there. Like this is our first TP, right? Price could come up here, come down, and then sell off if it wanted to. I doubt that'll happen. But this is our first TP. This would be my second TP here. This will be my third TP, and obviously this purple line would be my fourth TP, right? So, and for people that are in on my team, right? If you don't know, uh, I have a team that we actually work together and make money. And if you guys want to make money or become profitable or learn from someone like myself, definitely hit the link in the description. Also, if you guys don't know, TradingView is having a Cyber Monday sale, family. So they're having 60% off on Trading Views. This is the platform that I use that I'm using right now that you guys see to trade off of or to mark up my charts. So if you guys are interested in something like that, the link is definitely in the description. Definitely check that out so you guys can make sure to um get all the content, and it's 60% off, family, and they're giving one free month. You might as well take advantage. If you really are serious about your craft and about trading, you would take advantage of this, right? So let's go on and get keep going. USD Cad, I definitely like USD Cad because this is a very, very high probability trade right here. You already have price correcting to this low, right? You already have price coming to this low correctively. um if we go on the lower time frames, let's go on the 4 hour. I mean, I'm sorry, the 1 hour. You see price already correcting to this low. If price can consistently correct to this low, giving us a descending channel, I'm gonna take an aggressive entry on this one because we have a nice equal distance between the 1 and 2 touches, and if we get this third touch here, that's a high probability trade, right? So I'm looking to take this trade, or if depending on how it corrects to that area, I'll just wait for the retest, right? So I definitely like this trade. This can definitely consolidate to this trend line, fake people out, and then go up. So I am considering that as an option. So this one has a little bit more time to go. I actually probably Monday, Tuesday, we'll see what happens in this area. But USD CAD, I'm definitely liking because of the fact that we're approaching this high probability area as well as we're in this descending channel. So I definitely like this setup so far on USD CAD. Next thing is USD Swiss franc. USD Swiss franc, I like the structure of it, but the reason why I am not adding this on my weekly watch list, excuse me, is just that I have a lot more options to go by. There are better options than this. There are better trade setups, and this one is not even close to the setup. It's getting close, but it's not enough. If it was more like this, if it was right here, I'd probably be more inclined to take the trade and put it in my specific weekly watch list. But right now, no, it's just gonna stick here and stay here at the moment because price is kind of choppy. It's kind of ugly at this very moment. Yes, I mean, if you come back up here, come back down here, come back up here, I'd be definitely more inclined to take this buy, but it is still choppier than any of the other USD pairs. So I am looking at this to sell. If I'm looking for price to give me some form of channel, looking for a breakout and a retest to go higher, I would take this. I will take this depending on how price approaches. I would take this specific aggressive entry if it does pan out. Um, that's if it comes up here, maybe structurally, I'll take the trade, right? But if it comes here correctively, I'm more inclined to just wait for the break and retest to go up, right? So these are the options that I'm looking at with USD Swiss franc. USD JPY. The reason why this is not on my specific weekly watch list is because we still have this low to that price can come to. If this was down here, if we had this down here, oh yeah, that would definitely be on my watch list, no questions asked. But because we still have this, we have this, level here to consider. But price can still just trickle on down to this low and then take off, right? Which would be more high probability, which I would still kind of prefer, but I'm not going to ignore this trade setup that could potentially happen. So for real, this could let me bring out my trend line. This could just trickle back up. This could just be a correction. You know, this could come back up here and then come down here and then give us some form of correction down to this level. This looks like it still has ways to go. I don't see this actually playing out until maybe like Thursday or Wednesday, maybe even Friday, because of how price is forming right now. So I would give it a couple more days, see what happens, because I do definitely see this pushing back up. But we'll see how what price does in the next couple of days, because of the fact of it can still come down here. I'm not ignorant of the fact that it could still come down all the way to this level, but we'll see what happens, right? So Euro USD, which is the inverse of the DXY, the this is specifically looking very choppy. I don't really like how it's looking right now, but I do like the structure here that is forming a ascending channel. I want this to come back down here and then maybe trickle back up to come back down, but it doesn't have to. If price squeezes up here, I'll still take the sell. So let's go on the 1 hour so I can really break this down for you. So price pretty much came down to this level, came back up, dropped back down, giving us two touches, came back up here, giving us two touches, and now it's giving us a third touch. And in a perfect world, this would have been some form of area to sell the market, because you do have some form of correction coming up to this level. But price is choppy. Price is not clean. This is not a clean enough price action. If price were to correct up here, very, and it doesn't have to be clean, but at least to identify, then I'd be more inclined to take the trade and sell it, right? Or I would just wait for a break and retest to sell the market. But I'm not ignorant of the fact, if we go on the weekly, that this can come all the way up to this high. It can come to this high. How price is moving right now, this could just come up, retest, and then buy to this high, which would be fine. If I would just buy it on the retest. But right now, Euro USD has some time uh to move. I'm not really in a rush with Euro USD. It's definitely not going to be on my watch list. This might happen closer to Friday than any other pair. All New Zealand, I definitely like how this is faking people out, just like Euro New Zealand. You have this low, people are selling it. I can definitely see this pushing back up, giving us some form of retest, and then buy it to this high, right? TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, right? So I definitely see this long term coming back up to this high because of this level. Right now, price doesn't have to do that. Just like Euro New Zealand, price can come to this high, maybe give us some form of a bearish flag to go lower. I don't see that happening, but it can happen. I'm not ignorant of the fact. NZDJPY, in QEN, pretty much, we're at this nice resistance level. I like that we're at this resistance level, and if we go to the 1 hour very soon, you could see an ascending channel. But we have a pattern within a pattern, right? You have a ascending channel within another ascending channel. Right now, this is more of an extension, right? This is more of an extension. It's not the cleanest channel either. If price can come up here, then drop back down, then it would be a cleaner channel. And I would wait for the break, retest, and then I would wait for the sell, right? So QEN is definitely clean. I definitely like this pair a lot. It's definitely at a nice level. It's just that we have better setups. Euro odd. I like Euro odd. It's definitely clean price action. It's actually, for me, cleaner than Euro Kiwi, but we're not at this low. So the reason why we're not at this low is the reason why I saw my wild cards. I think it's the same thing. Obviously, channel, wait for the break, retest, and then buy. Right. So that's Euro Kiwi. But that's my watch list, family, for the entire week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys are taking it cool, making sure you guys are studying, study. Hopefully you guys are learning something and got a lot of value off of this. Make sure you guys get your 60% off. The link is in the description. And family, please take your time, and I'll see you at the bank or the beach. Peace out.